I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. For the day done, you are gonna love over your son.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
All right. Good evening. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm your host, the man in his man. Hope you're having a wonderful evening, and an evening where the young reggae girls, the under 20 team that is playing with how many players they had? 10 players from the first half, secured a 0-0 draw with Haiti. They are through to the round of 16, which begins on Saturday. They probably will have one of the top teams because they finished third in their group. So congratulations to the young reggae girls. Also, Mia Mitchell, I think she has an MRI tomorrow. She sustained an injury. She also missed a penalty in that game. We also have with us this evening Mr. Leacroft Lettman. All right. If you are from Montego Bay, you know him very well. If you're from Cornwall College, associated with teams like Seba, you would know him well. If you are involved in any coaching certification in Western Jamaica, you would probably know him. This evening, we have him here with us, and he's going to be sharing with us about his journey. And at the back end of the interview, we're going to talk a little bit about his role with the JFF in terms of certifying and getting other coaches qualified, and see how, by his work, he's improving football all across Jamaica, in particular in the Western Hemisphere, Western Jamaica, as they say. So we have him here. We're going to bring him on stage, bring him on screen, and we're going to talk with him at this time. And of course, again, before we do that, let me say a big thank you to the sponsors of this video. Launch Legacy, right, where they handle risk and seek legacy for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA. Visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text 647-989-0782. Also, Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it most. If you need up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars to borrow, please give Prestige Finance a call. Let them know you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports. And here is the good news. If you do that, you will, and this is true, you will have same day processing, no processing fee, and pay only between 0 to 4% interest rate. All right, so check them out. Please make sure you do. Tricknick is also on board, and we want to thank them. To all the persons in the comment section, I want to thank you for being a part of this discussion. All the persons who are here watching will be making a comment. We thank you. To all our subscribers, we thank you as well. All right, I am not going to hesitate any longer. I'm going to bring on our guest this evening. Let me just do this right here. Right now, trying to get the link to my guest, but I don't know. I don't know if his number is not on WhatsApp, so I'm going to have to find a next way of doing this. Yeah, so he can have it, so he can send to all the persons, unless I entered his name wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm good for that. I'm not seeing it. I don't know. Maybe he's not on WhatsApp. So let's bring him on, and then we can try and sort that out as well. Sir Lettman.
Welcome. Good night, Manins man.
Yeah, man.
Mr.
Blessings.
Tenet.
Good. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So good to have you.
Yes.
Although we are rivals, Cornwall College Mannings, when it comes down to sports in Western Jamaica, today we will be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And the number I have for you, it doesn't seem to be on WhatsApp. I'm trying to find you on WhatsApp, and I'm not able to. I don't know if I did something wrong. Yeah,
maybe I did something wrong. It's 846-4303.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like 8464303.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not seeing it. So I'm not seeing it on WhatsApp. That's very strange.
Yeah. Very, very strange.
Yeah, but don't worry, you're going to get it. I'm getting a feedback as well. So we're going to try and sort that out. There's a little feedback in the feed, so I hope it doesn't affect our discussion tonight. But we're going to get into it, and we'll send that out. So if you are one of Leacroft's friend and you have the link that has been sent to you, what you can do is just WhatsApp it to his number once you have his number, and he can be able to send it out from there. All right, greetings again, Sir Lettman. So let me begin. For those who don't know you, I want you to begin by sharing your journey into the sport. Where did it all start for you, all the way to your Cornwall College days?
Welcome to my viewers tonight, and thanks for having me, Manins man. It's a pleasure being here. The journey have all started way back from primary school, in which in primary school we play football right across, right, and that's Colonaldi, right. But my growth really started right there at Colonaldi Avenue Primary School. Presently, they call it boys' school back then before I enter. You have some of the greats coming out of Colonaldi. You have Dr. Weatherly. You have some great person out of that institution, right? Both on the boy side and the girl side. And our arch rival, which is Barracks Road, which is right across, just a stone bridge across each other. But accidentally, when person leave both school, they end up in the same high school. So that's where it all started. From my journey, right? Started with the football in basically grade 4, grade 5, right? But I never used to play. I used to go home right after school and play with the bigger guys, because I grew up in Reading, St. James, right? And the person that work at the hardware at the woodwork shop, they used to play right after. So in the evening, I used to rush from school, from grade 4, to go and play with the bigger guys back home. So that's where it all started. And in grade 5 now, then I try to stay at school now to play on the under 12 team, grade 5 to grade 6, because our under 12 team, we used to play on the big field then, back then, where the under 12 competition, that was VNBS, the same. They play on the whole entire field. In my journey, in my playing days at Cornwall, we have players leaving there like rest in peace Marvin Senior, from Cornwall. You have Philip Evans. They came through the rank and went to Cornwall also, and also was on the winning daCosta Cup team.
Okay, so you left Cornwall and then you went to Cornwall College.
Yes.
Okay. I see. Okay. All right.
But,
all right.
yeah.
So you played Premier League at Cornwall.
Yes, I play at VNBS under 12.
12. Okay.
Right.
Did you win that?
No, I didn't win that competition.
Okay. All right. So
the following year, you have Philip Evans. They won that. I think they won that competition. Then they went
Cornwall.
Yes, at Cornwall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went on to Cornwall College, and that's where kind of your football started developing some more.
Right.
All right. So tell us about that journey from first under 14, under 16, daCosta Cup years.
All right. Still the journey was at Reading. Then you have this team Condors. A lot of persons don't know. Remember that?
Remember Condors? Yes.
Yeah. So living at Reading, we were a stone throw away from that field. So we used to go down there where you have players like Durant Brown, Anthony Barnes, you have Stennett Sams. I think Stennett Sams would come down there to keep goal. You have like players like Samuels, and it's got a few players like those. And Rex Lachman, you have Beckford, that used to represent Cornwall, right? And you have, so there now I start to train with them as a youngster growing up, right? So leaving there now, training with the bigger, always training with the bigger guys, right? Yeah. So go on to Cornwall now, which I passed my common entrance with high marks, right? Going on to Cornwall, then while in 7th grade, you know, at Cornwall now it's an all-boys school, so you have a lot of players coming from the best of the best who want to go to Cornwall, right? So what happened when I went there now, you have the under 14 team was already there, so we entered now the 7th grade in the under 12 competition, because the person who have the age were 11 plus. Can you have person passing common entrance at 11 plus and 10 that are in 7th grade? So our coach, Mr. Wright now, and Mr. Gilchrist was there. Hopeton Gilchrist, he was also there, right?
Yeah.
So we had a team. So we had like 2 teams under 14, 2 squad. One team that played the under 14 and one that would play the under 12 competition. So I'd play the under 12 competition again at Cornwall.
Oh, and that you played against primary school as well?
Yeah, yes, because at 7th grade, players have the age because they were the competition was under 12.
Under 12,
right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but you can go ahead.
Yeah. So after that year now, the following year in 8th grade now, we went on to make the under 14 now, because players now who move up to under 16, then the slot will be there for those players because you'll be in that squad already. So that 8th grade, we went on to play our first game. That game we played Russies. We beat them 11-1 in that under 14 match. And we didn't went on to win that trophy. We didn't went on to win the under 14. So our journey, I remember that game. The one goal that scored, I can't forget that. The ball rolled back to our goalkeeper, pass back, and his lace was loosed, and and he stepped on his lace and fall, and the ball rolled right in the goal. I could never forget that goal.
Yeah.
That keeper was Stevan Sterling brother, Javan.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was under 14. 8th grade now, we move up now to going on to 8th grade summer, which we have before 8th grade we have all seven class competition. Every match drew. So we have players from Colonel, the Howard, Cook, Catchinall come right up. And our PE headmaster was saying this crapper 7th grade is very competitive, right? Because every class have competitive footballer. I was playing centre half back then because my role model was, rest in peace, Zabol Thompson. They used to play for Seba. I guess you know Zabol.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so he was my role model. So they used to call me Zar. I keep the ball very, very far, right? So in the summer of 8th grade, I move on to the PE headmaster said, guess what? That was Mr. Rooms now. Mr. Rooms come to me and said, you need to come to D-Cup training. I said, all right, I will come to D-Cup training. Coming on to D-Cup training, that was 1992, my first season at daCosta Cup after leaving under 14. Right, you have Steve Buckner was the coach, 91, and Dr. Dean Weatherly was the coach, his first stint in at 1992 at Cornwall. So we went on there. Steve Buckner left. There was like 13 players left from that team, 91-19 coming up. And I said, myself and Kevin Duaney was the only two youngsters from 9th grade on that squad. But Kevin played forward and I'm a defender. So in that squad, I was the last one to select it because we have back then we have 150 players turning out for D-Cup trials. We have our school advisor, Mr. Scotty Myers. He used to be the one taking names and registration, marking register of players turning up for training. And then now, as we go down now, the team will cut. And you imagine going in a team where you have 13 senior players already. So you only need 9 more players to fill out of 150. And then, myself, I always tell myself, so guess what? I am going to do it no matter what. I'm always the smallest in the group. I'm always the one that climb very hard. I always believe in what I'm going to do in whichever way it takes. I work extra hard. So even when I go home after training, sometime I'll do the extra work. I'll ask a friend or ask them, what did I do in training? I used to have this friend, Fitzroy Shaka Arton. He played and he was on that team also, but he was in a bigger grade than I am. So after training, I would ask him, how do I look in the training? And he said, yeah, man, you do good, man. And I say, all right, yeah, we're going to come and fight again. So that was then it come down to selection now. My name was the last name after 21 name call. My name was the last one to make 22. And everybody have the jersey. And one jersey leave, and that was number 16. So coach said, all right, Lee, number 16 is yours. So you are number 22 player. So that was the start for daCosta Cup right there. And we went on that year. We didn't come out of the zone. Our last game was we played Cambridge, and we didn't advance to the second round. That was Coach Vidal the first year, 1993 now, where we have a giant team with Milton Griffiths, Daniel Ricketts, George Emmons, may his soul rest in peace. You have David Appleton. You have Marvin's. You have Donovan Ricketts, Kieran Cranston. You have Raja Jijirat, may his soul rest in peace. You have I'm trying to find that the squad.
Yeah, man, not a problem.
Yeah.
But that 93 team,
Yeah.
right. How did you win the daCosta Cup that year, or you went to the finals?
Apparently we went to both finals. We went to the Ben Francis final against Glenmuir at Nature Farm, and we lost to Glenmuir 1993 against then again, it may soul rest in peace. You have Fana Griffiths, Winston Griffiths. Yeah, from we used to play at Glenmuir. We lost to Glenmuir, then we come again and we play them back. Back then when you play the person, the Ben Francis, you play them in the semi-final. So went back at Woodside and beat them. Milton Griffiths take up that game on his shoulder. And we beat them back in the semi-final.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Then now we're going to meet back Rossies now in the final of the daCosta Cup.
Yeah.
We lost 2-1. We lost 2-1 to Rossies at Nature Farm again. Yeah. So
that's the 1993 team with Anthony Fogarty and Ainsworth Carr and Socrates Christie.
Yes, and you have who again was on that team?
Loxley Reed was the goalkeeper.
No. Loxley did leave Loxley did leave the year before.
Okay.
I think Loxley Hilton from Mountain, he was on that team.
Okay. So you lost the finals at the Ben Francis Cup and the daCosta Cup in 93. All right. 1994 now you are still there because this would be a third season.
Yes, 1994 we're still there. We go because we lost some of the players because we have senior players. Because what happened at Cornwall now, you have players coming through the ranks. So every time players step out, you have players stepping back right in. So, but it come off maturity. I tell you, daCosta Cup is like the more mature the team is, the better it is to win. So
right.
Yeah. So 1994 we went on, it's like we were on a rebuilding stage again. Dr. Dean Wedderly was our coach, same way. And the boys, and we stood tall and we go through again because our main core of starting players would leave school.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Milton Griffiths left.
Yes, he would left.
Right. And Copped, I think Copped had left, but Ricketts, the younger Ricketts was there in goal.
Right. Right.
So which year you actually won the daCosta Cup? Which one? Which one?
All right. So it would go on to 19 the following year,
Which is
1990.
1995. Okay.
Right. Right.
All right. Tell
So
us about the 1995 season, because you won daCosta Cup and you also won. Was it Olivia Shield? You won that year as well, or was it Ben
no,
Francis?
it was Ben Francis. We lost the Olivia Shield.
Took Charlie Smith.
Yeah, that younger five.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
lost to Charlie, but you won the daCosta Cup and the Ben
And
Francis. All right. So yeah, tell us about that 1995 team, and some of the names and the journey.
yeah, that 1995 team was I can tell you that team was like a warrior team. We stood tall, we fight together, we we share everything together. And that team now, if you remember, I tell you in the beginning about the seventh grade era, which when we started at school. So that group of players now would be most of those players from seventh grade.
Okay.
So we have the likes of Donovan Ricketts again in goal, the captain, myself as the vice captain now. You have Michael Snow, you have Marvin Senior again, you have Peter Scott in central midfield, you have Fitzroy Harton again, you have um, Kenyatta Hill. How could I forget Kenyatta Hill? You have um, Philip Evans. You have Mark Spoon Hill. Mark Hill, that's the brother of Spoon that keep
Yeah.
Waterhouse. Right. You have Leo Wiley, Cheddy. You have Cheddy Johnson. You have um Chilan. You have a guy named Chilan. He's a fireman now. You have I'm trying to ring up the names then. You have Walton Crooks, the son of the late Walton Crooks. He passed the other day, may his soul rest in peace. So his son was on the team. Um, and you have a couple other names that maybe I left out, but
Yeah,
they
man.
are
Tell us
they are
about some of the big games. I mean, the final, the semifinals, and a couple of other big games that season
some of the big games. All right.
that you remember. Yeah.
Yeah. The big game was against Froome. That was one of the big game because Froome Froome was one of the school that raining from the other side, and you have they came to Jared Park to play us. I think they had us down 1-0, and I think in that game I scored in that game also. I scored in that game, and we end up win that game, what, 3-1. And moving on from there, I can remember. I think Homewood came went by Russies to play Homewood a couple times. Well, um, Homewood got some. I think Homewood got. They were down like 5 or 4 goals to nil, but the game blowed off. Like we played them twice, and the last game end up 6-0. I think, to my knowledge, I think we won 6-0. But those teams, when 1995, when our team coming out, those teams coming out in their sweatsuit and their bag, and we are just coming out royal, because in that same year again, Reina King, may his soul rest in peace. He's the one that embroidered on our jersey. We have our logo, the RK stand for Reina King. He sponsored that jersey for us that year. So because of 1993 we lost. That year we changed jersey. Like semi-final we have a different jersey. Final we have a different jersey. And in the regular season we have a different jersey. So I think we got like 4 to 5 set of jersey. In the finals, we had a white jersey with checkers on the sleeve, and we lost the final.
You never beat Marines. You never beat Marines 1995 still, you know, at Marines, you know.
We never beat Marines.
No, man, check it again.
Yeah, man, we beat Marines. Philip
At
Evans
Marines?
score.
Yeah, you beat us at Jarrett Park. Yeah. Check it again, man.
I have to run back.
From and Rossies from defeated us at Marines that year, and I think Rossies. But go ahead still. But you beat us at I don't think that game against it was played at I think that game was played at Cornwall College. The return leg was played at the school. Yeah.
Yes. I don't remember that game, but I think I don't know.
Check it out. What continue
I
still?
remember the draw or something like that.
Yeah. But in the finals of the daCosta Cup, who did you meet in the finals?
We played Port Antonio. We played Port Antonio at Jarrett Park.
Okay.
Yes, we played Port Antonio at Jarrett Park, and after we won that game, I think they should come back to play us, and they said they're not coming back, so we awarded the point and move on. And we played in the final like that. Oh, Rossies, yes, Rossies, yes, we played Rossies in the final. And
okay.
How could I forget that game? Yeah, we played Rossies in the final. The game was locked at 1-1, and that extra time, and we got a free kick, a little bit over the half line, and apparently I can remember and I can recall clearly that Mark Spoonhill, he was practicing that free kick from day one, right? Day one. Could have him, or he would by himself in the evening on the goal, or maybe a goalkeeper, one of the reserve goalkeeper, and kicking like he maybe kick. Honestly, he maybe kick like 100 or maybe so per maybe 2 days in 2 days, and to get it perfect. It does come perfect on the final. So the keeper now step off his line a little, and it come like he say, yes, this one is his. It was to the where at Jarrett Park. It was to the stand at Seba stand, not to the big stand now, to the opposite side.
Yeah.
He got a free kick on that side, and I tell you, from the ball leave his foot, the crowd take the field. The crowd take the field.
Yeah. Yeah. So you beat Rossies in the final because they had beat you in 93. You get a chance to beat them back. Who did you beat in the Ben Francis final? Or was it the same Rossies?
Ben Francis? No, I don't remember if it was Glenmuir. I'm not 100% sure if it was, but I know I'm not 100% sure about the fan. I know it would say my teammate Philip Evans. He's a behind. He can tell me when I pass a ball or who I pass a ball to. Him have a record in his memory.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, but not a problem. All right. So was that your final year at Cornwall College?
No. I went on now 1996 to captain the team. 1996.
Okay.
And,
1996 was your last year.
Yeah, it was my last year.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, and in that season we didn't lose any game in the second round, and we drew all the games in the second round, and we didn't advance to the semi-final stage. So that was the last hurrah of daCosta Cup.
daCosta Cup. All right. I'm going to take some comments because there's a lot of comments and I don't want to miss them. We're at the 30 minutes,
Yeah.
35 minutes. So let me take some of the comments. And then we'll get back to some more discussion. All right.
Yeah.
Kenrick Simmis says, big up Coach Lee. Wendell Myrie says, big up yourself, bro Lee. Elvis Hart says, good night to you, management. That heal up to Coach Lee, blessed love. Sweetie Day Jan says, big up Coach. Yeah, man. Roger Clayton said, big up Lee. Anthony Maxwell says, many blessing, Lee Lettman. Travis Pesa says, I am sure sports asks Lettman, what was Kevin doing a nickname back then?
E.T.
Yeah, E.T., right. He mash up Froome when we and Cornwall in group. Yeah. All right. Andrew Seafans Sewell says, real youth, real coach, Sir Lee. Travis Pesa says, Fitzroy Shaka Harton, bad baller. Then him said, I think when you were talking about the game, he said them turn off the lights and Froome in that game. I am sure. That's the Cornwall College versus Froome game. I think he's talking. Says, one of the best I know with coaching youth. This is Sacha Cousins and motivating them on and off the pitch in Western Jamaica. Your work will never go unnoticed. Just keep riding the waves. All right. Yeah, man. So those are some of the comments. Christopher Samuel says, winning mentality, Coach Lee. Paul Watkins, a real baller. Fitzroy Duncan says, didn't Clarendon College win the D Cup in 1993? I think you were saying it was Glenmore, but it may have been Clarendon College.
No, man, 1993 was Russie's.
1993 won it. It was Russie's,
and then Glenmere won the Ben Francis.
And Russie's, okay.
Right. Because at that time you could have won all the competition.
Yeah, man, you're right. Yeah, man. The man Fitzroy, you're right. Here, Cornwall never beat Mannings Young and Mannings. We can't tell him that. I think Froome and Russie's are the only team we beat. I think Fogarty scored at Mannings, and it was the first time in Mannings history Froome beat because we changed our coach. So that was the only game we lost at home. Froome and Russie's. That much me remember. But Coach Lettman memory not so ready up, so we're gonna leave it. So after Cornwall College, where did you transition in terms of football?
Wow, that was the next stage. After coming out of 1995, before I went on to 96.
See, Lax to read inside the building saying, bless up Coach Lee, Jah is love and love alone.
Yeah, man, bless up Laxley, man.
Yeah, man. All right, so you leave 1996 now. You finish Cornwall.
No, hold on. 1995-96 season. So after schoolboy finish, then Premier League continue.
Okay.
Yes,
so you played Premier League while you were still at Cornwall?
Yes.
Okay. For the same Condors?
No, Condors never went on back then. Never moved on. So It was our coach, Dr. Weatherly. Now he was the coach at Violet Kickers.
Okay.
Right? And the normally Cornwall players make the transition to Violet Kickers. Right? But growing up, I grew up amongst the Wadada players them, because remember now, they at Wembley you have Wadada train down there after when they
Right,
used to,
right, right.
right.
And you'd have played ball with Durant Brown and Stennett Sams out by the Condors when they
Yeah,
were at
so
Condor.
I was
Yeah,
behind goal picking up, and
yeah,
when ball go over the rip, cause down there you have a swamp.
yeah, man.
So
By
we
Wembley,
are,
right? Yeah.
yeah, we as a little youth now, when ball go over the swamp, we jump and go swim for them. And
Okay.
then sometime when we make one stay back in our bush, because guess what? We want a ball to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was where. So now, so you know that the team Wadada, I grew up with those players, so I know those players, right? But as a youth growing up, I always admire Seba players, the likes of Noah Sterling, Latiply, um, Shaggy, that's Hector Wright brother. You have Zabol, because remember, I tell you, the story is coming from Zabol was my defender.
Yeah.
Right. So watching those players at that time we used to have triple header at Jared Park. You have triple header, so start playing the last game, right? So getting to love Seba now, and coming out of high school, then when you win the daCosta Cup, there's a big difference, because in the West now you are one of the top players them now. Because I apparently I was a defender. So playing anywhere in the defense line, because Coach would start me out at left back. Right? I started playing left back, right back, center half. Remember now, under 14 I was a center half, but I learned the craft of playing all the position in the back line. Right? So 1995, moving on now. So it was a tug and war in my head now to go which team I should go to.
Yeah. So
Right?
which team you ended up going to, and why did you make that decision?
So respecting Dr. Weatherly and Violet Kickers, but in my head I didn't like the Seba thing. So I went on to Seba. So I went to Seba training, and apparently I played one match for Violet Kickers. I can't remember that much. Because in those days you have the preseason games where you can make the transition to play in the preseason, but you're not registered for the club. Right.
Okay.
So I play one match at Wembley, same place where I used to be behind the goal, picking up ball, clean off players' boots and all of that. I tell myself that one day I am going to play here. So even in daCosta Cup, Wembley was used to play Anchovy. Anchovy High School used to use Wembley as a home ground.
That's before they start using Leety, or after Leety shut
Yeah,
down.
it was a in between Leety and Anchovy, in
Okay.
between Leety and Wembley. Apparently, after the time, the swamp start take the field, so the field start to get bad. So all of the nutrients and stuff start to dry out, the grass start to die down because of lack of resources and stuff like that. So moving on now to Seba. I have to face the like of, then again, rest in peace, Stephen Shorty Malcolm, playing right back, because now I make the transition playing right back. You have Shorty Malcolm, you have in
Philip
goal we
Wang.
have Philip Wang. Yeah, he play left back. You have Andrew Edwards. You have Anthony Dennis at that time was there.
That's Terminator.
Dennis, yes.
Yeah.
You have Hector Wright. You have Paul
Shadrach.
Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have oh yeah, so much Everald Green from Trinidad. I don't know if you remember Everald Green.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was Pick
Ezra
Knight the
Green. Yeah.
goalkeeper? Was Pick Knight the goalkeeper at that time?
Yeah, Pit Knight was one of the goalkeeper also. Yeah, Pit
Yeah.
Knight and a next goalkeeper named Stoney.
Okay. So when you
Yes.
went into that Seba side, did you because I mean did you get game of a shot in Malcolm, because this was the Seba team now that would have gone on and won the Premier League.
All right. So apparently now, when I played wingback, Shotty Malcolm play right midfield.
So when you went there, you started and Shotty went into midfield and you play right back?
Yeah. Some game you have. It depends on the game now. So certain game you have him step in the midfield, and depends on the formation that the coach is using also.
Okay. So
Right.
I mean your first game for Seba. You
Oh
remember who you
wow.
played against?
Yeah, that's a memory that can't leave out my head. My
All right.
first game for Seba was against Wadada
And this is in the Premier League.
in the
Or what?
Premier League. And guess where I am?
Wembley.
Where it all started, Wembley. My first game. And my first game, I forget, I must forget, Horace Pitt. You have Horace Pitt. Yeah, he's in the States now, living in the States.
Yeah,
My
man,
first
Fit,
game
yeah.
at Wembley. Yeah. And what happened now? Apparently, we have our team, the Seba team was so strong. We have about 7 nationals on the team. So at times when the national them gone on duty, then what happened, we have myself, you have myself, and you have some players from Herbert Morrison. Because Herbert Morrison did 1994, they went to finals. So you have person like Aitan Scott, Cian McNeish, Kenrick Picknight.
Picknight, yeah.
Yeah, they did come over from Herbert, come and join the Seba. Right.
McNeish and thing, yeah.
Right. So we did have a gang of youths now. We're combined with a Herbert Morrison and a Cornwall. Right. So
Okay.
apparently now, whenever the nationals after duty, then the youths now have to fill in. So you have Aitan Scott, who is on the left side, myself on the right side, Cian McNeish in the center back, right? Cool and calm. Good. And the first game, which we won 3-1 against Wadada. And in that game, I assist 2 and score 1.
Your first game for Seba as a schoolboy.
Yeah.
Because you still had 1 year left at Cornwall.
Yeah.
Which is 96. So in 90, okay. But how well did Seba do that year in 1995?
No, remember the season go on, Remember, all right, daCosta Cup finish at a certain time, and then Premier League start and go on to the following year.
Okay.
Right. Is that 96?
Okay.
Yeah, right. So I want to make sure it's the right timing, I'm saying, but I know when schoolboy finish, because you can't play that two competition at the same time. So after schoolboy, then you move on to the daCosta Cup training, the Premier League training.
Okay, all right. So 1995, or you're not sure if it's 95 or 96, it was your first season with Seba.
Yeah, it was no man. Remember, it's not. It would be 96, 96, 97. Right,
Okay, 96.
right.
Okay, okay,
96, yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Because Violet Kickers had
Right,
won. Violet Kickers had won the Premier League before Seba won.
right. So Violet Kickers won in 95, 96. Because
Yeah,
Violet Kickers and yeah, I think Violet Kickers and
yeah.
Reno went to the finals.
Right,
Because
right,
Seba win in 94. No, Violet Kickers beat Seba in 94. Then
yeah,
Reno beat Constant Spring. Then
yeah.
Violet Kickers beat Reno.
Right.
Then 96, 97
Yeah.
was when Seba won.
One. Yeah. That's it.
That's here. I'm asking you, cause I want to make sure I get it. I think
Yeah, man.
it was a year after Violet Kickers won that Seba won.
Seba one. Yes. Yeah.
Again, was it? You remember who you played in the finals?
All right. Apparently, the semifinals. I did have exam. So the team that leave Montego Bay to go camp in Kingston. Right. And I did
Yeah.
have exams in that year. So I think they play with Arnett Garden. I think it was Arnett Garden at the National Stadium.
In the semifinals.
Yeah, I think something like
Was
that.
it Waterhouse to beat in the final or
Yeah, man, they play Arnett Garden and then Waterhouse in the final. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Right.
Okay. So you didn't play in the finals and the semifinals that season?
No. But
Because
what happened in that year, you'd have the bottom 8 and the top 8.
Okay.
And the team they demoted to the bottom 8.
Seba was demoted to the bottom 8?
Right. And then you have the person who win from the bottom 8 go and join back the person to join back to the semi-final.
Oh, so that's how you got into the semifinals.
Right.
Okay. But you didn't play, I mean, during this time now, because you're around 18, 19, were you called up to any junior teams for Jamaica?
Yes, I my first call up, I got my first call up, and then apparently I got an injury in the prison. I got a knee injury, my first call, and then coach said, Lee, you can't go in because you're injured. And then I still working, because I said I have to put on the national colors. Then apparently the door opened again, and I got a next call up with the likes of myself, Mark Hill, Donovan Ricketts, Ian Carr, Markina Gillens. You have David Dixon, and those are the numbers I can remember from down here. 6 or 7 of us traveling.
That was under 20. Under 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you were called to the under 20. Did you make the final squad?
Well, the final because we were journeying to training via weekends or via every 2 weekends, and I realized I wasn't dropping out of the cut. Sometimes maybe you have a 5-person call up from the west out of the 7, or a 4-person call up. And then what happened now, because remember I play right back, center back, left back, right? So when I go training and the coach there, my coach then was Wendell Downswell and Sir Diggy Henry. Yeah, those are the under 20 coach. But what happened when you go as in your special position? Sometimes the coach is put in a position, a next position. So coach put me to play center marker. I play marker at training. Because guess what now? We have Gerald Neal playing right back.
Yeah.
Right, you have Gerald Neal playing right back, and you have
And
O'Neal
the
Smith.
Eugene,
O'Neal Smith. O'Neal Smith captain then.
yeah, man. That was
Yeah,
O'Neal
he
Baker
used, he
Smith.
used to play for Harvard.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yes,
O'Neal
yes, he used
Baker
to play
Smith.
for Harvard. Yeah. And you have the likes of Robert
Eugene
Scarlett.
Barnes.
No, you have not Eugene Barnes. You have what the next one name? Out of the gang of five, man. You have
Pele Wilson. Bonzi.
Pele Wilson. You have Chinsu.
Bonzi. Okay.
Bonzi. Yeah, and you have a next one. So those were.
Did you play an official under 20 game for Jamaica?
Yes, we went to Mexico. We went to Mexico to play against in that tournament. And if we qualify from there now, we'll move on. We play Guatemala, we play Mexico, and we play Argentina. I came on in Argentina game. I tell you, when you see the players are moving on the field, why, I tell you something different, man, when you go out there. First 15 minutes, the first 5 minutes, all the players moving, they're moving like a machine, man. See?
Sure.
I'm telling you, man, when you see the international, you see it on TV, it's a total different stuff, man. And yeah, in the Guatemala game, I started in the Guatemala game, and we won that game. And I think we lost to Argentina, we lost to Mexico, but we win against Guatemala.
Okay.
Right. Star play center half.
Okay. All right. So you're part of that, but that was the only in terms of the under national team. That was the only call up you got, because you never got called to the senior team. You never played any senior team.
Yeah, because no, what happened now? I went off to Kingston to university to do studies. So what I have now, traveling back and forth, because then you don't really have somebody managing you, you know. So you're in Kingston and you're not training for the week with the team in Mobile. So I just travel, come to match. Sometimes I go on the field, sometimes I don't play, but I'm still in the team. If I did have a manager then to manage me, so it's all right. If I make transfer to a Kingston team, then it would be different.
Oh, so you were in Kingston? You were playing for your college?
Yes, I was playing. Because coming in now, I'm coming off the under 20, you know. So guess what? A national baller coming in. So guess what? Everything was like Corey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we're running training, and so we go on tournaments, we go overseas to play. Our manager for the thing was Dr. Bruce. Dr. Bruce, he's the manager for Manchester. He was our team manager.
Team manager for who? For Bethel?
No, man. For remember I went to UA, so I went to do undergrad first, and then I went on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
but
Dr. Bruce.
He was the manager for.
Okay, so you were part of UA, and then you would go away and play games for UA.
Right.
Intercal games. Okay.
Right.
How good you were the best player on the team, or you had other good players over there? Any other name?
Then before I went, we have Michael Snow, Donovan Ricketts. You have Fitzroy Harton. You have even Dr. Ronald Robinson, who is in his one of the minister. He was on the team also.
Okay.
He used to play defense. You have a lot of good players. You have even Dr. Jeremy and Spencer. You have a lot of doctors on that team.
Okay. All right. So that's your U experience. I guess because of school now, you weren't able to be a regular in the Seba side, and you transitioned out of the game basically.
Right. So what happened? I asked coach, say, coach, what's going on? Coach, I said, coach say, yeah, not playing as much games or, and I said, all right. But then I realized that guess what? If you're not playing and in the limelight and in the plane, you have to be keep on. Now what happened? He was saying that the UE level is not as high as the Premier League level. 'Cause back then you have to be in a international setting.
Yeah. All
Mhm.
right. What I want you to do, because we're on an hour, what I want you to do now, because I know you kind of
Yeah,
slowly transition out of playing, and then you started taking the coaching thing more seriously
yeah,
and got involved in coaching and have elevated to high heights. A lot of people talk about your work with the youth. So I want you to take some
yeah.
time now and just talk to us about your time in coaching, the level that you're at, and your involvement in coaching football
Ah,
across Jamaica. And then, yeah.
you're right. My coaching start. Well, my coaching really start back then from a youth, but I never really know that I was up into a coach because in primary school it come back again. We used to organize our classmates to play against the other school when school over. In the in our community now, I used to have my team, my own team, which I get players now from different high school, from Rossies, from Herbert Morrison, from Anchovy, and from Cornwall to represent Reading All Star, right? So because living up in Reading, we have a corner league that played out by Bogue, right? And in those players, right? Then now we normally I normally sometimes get somebody to pick them up and come at my house. Then my mother would cook for them, and then we'll have a little feast before we go on. Moving into that from there. So I never really knew that coaching would be a part of me. But you see, whole organization and all of that. While at Seba, myself and Kenrick Pittnight, used to coach. Like back then you saw the Seba under 13. So both of us said, all right, we are gonna be the coach for the under 13. Just knowing out of our playing strategy, we have no idea about certification and all that. So we start that off, and then I start to develop the love for it now, coaching the under 13. Um, then we move on to I move on to also coach Seba under 21. Back then we had Seba under 21, right? My first coaching license was 2001 with Renee Smoyes at Jared Park. All right, I gained my first coaching license, level one. That was like a participation course. You go down there and they show you the demo, and you go and do the do some action from what they learn inside the classroom, right? Then I move on from there. From that level one, now I went on. Also, I got a call to come at a primary school and move on from the primary school to not the primary school, the prep school to coach them, right? And also play the role of being their PE teacher, right? So after that now, with my knowledge, use all that I've learned from school, come right over to and transfer into the sports. So I do all the sports during the PE. I do track and field, I do cricket, I do basketball, I do netball, I do football, right? So moving from there, from that era of the prep school, then a next prep school called me, said if I can come in and give them half a day. So this transition just start to make from the prep school now into the coaching. Then when I moved from 2001, my first coaching certification, 2019, 2009, I do my advanced level 1 while at Cornwall now. I go back to Cornwall now and start the coaching. Dr. Weatherly called me and say, all right, you can come and work with me. Myself and Lawrence Salesman. Lawrence Salesman was the under 16 because he played for Jamaica right up, and he went to I think he went to the World Cup. So Dr. Weatherly said, all right, you guys
That's the
gonna work.
under 20 World Cup.
Yeah, under 20 World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was the under 16 coach. I was the under 14, right? We start out well, but you know, my first time I start to learn. I start to learn because I said I want to take this to the next level. Then moving from there, I always say I want to stay with the youths and develop through the youths because I want to pass on back to the youths. While at Cornwall there now, Dr. Weatherly left again and went to Herbert Morrison. And out of respect and loyalty, then I said, all right, I'm going to go with him at Herbert Morrison. And I was coaching the under 14 and assisted daCosta. Right. Then we leave. I do one stint at Herbert Morrison with the under 14. Then apparently there was a little miscommunication. Then I went back to Cornwall. When Hopeton, Steve Butner, when Dr. Weatherly left, I think that Steve Butner was the coach there. And then Hopeton Gertis take over. And then when he take over, I went back there and I started to coach the under 16. Right? So, and then Mr. Mitchell would coach the under 14, I would coach the under 16. Then I would assist the daCosta Cup. Right. So I'm the assistant and then working with the other team. Right. So moving on from there now, I would move on to 2009. I would get my advanced level 1.
Level 1, yeah.
Right. Yeah, moving on. Then the following year, you know, advanced level 2 coming up. So I'm moving on to my advanced level 2. 2010, move on to my advanced level 2. And I got certified, went over to Kingston to do my advanced level 2. 2010 also I did a CONCACAF certification course with Coach Fenton from Costa Rica. Right. 2011 we did a course with ESPN with Robbie Hurl. He came down to St. James. Robbie Hurl and Andrew Vertio came down to St. James and we did a 2-part. One at St. James and one at Trelawney. Yeah, that was 2011. But I'm still coaching now. I'm coaching at Cornwall, the under 16. My main aim was to get the players ready for daCosta Cup and work on the under 14 to build up to my team. So what I'll do, I'll assist the under 14 at the game up to halftime. Then I'll get my team ready for the under 16 game. And then you know the under 16 and under 14 played
same play.
Right, but the daCosta Cup would play a different day. So when daCosta Cup play, then we have no training for the U16 or U14 because we need players to know to come and support, and they are going to make the transition. So they're supposed to see what is taking place and can move from there. 2013, I did a course with the coaches across the continent. That is really learning about socialization through football, how to communicate with different persons, different genders, affair, and you can use football to send message and send message in different language. And it's like you use, like for example, a session you can run, and you talk about food that you eat, um, after, and how to communicate, how to learn players fast and quick. A player can come to the training in one day and you learn the player's name, and all of those things come through that coaches across the continent. Also, Real Madrid have sent down coaches now to keep coaches clinic with their program. 'Cause they have the Real Madrid program in Montego
Yeah,
Bay.
in Montego. Aaron Lawrence used to run that.
Right, Coach Aaron Lawrence used to run it. So my son used to attend that program. So he said the coach is coming down, and he would like me to come and participate in that course. You have myself, Fabian Davis was on that one of that course. Coach Paula Wilson came on one of that session. So that was like a 20-hour sessions, right?
Okay.
Right. So person from Spain come down to lecture to us and teach us about organization and such forth. And every year I try to make sure I have done a course. So 2014 again, there's coaches of the continent come down again. I try to be on that certification. Same way. And Real Madrid came down the following year again. I said I'm not leaving out. I'm going on that certification again. So it's like a process. So in coaching, if you feel that you have one certification and you know everything, then I'm sorry, because it revolves so fast and so quickly. 2016, we do a FIFA Fair Play certification, how to deal with kids and awareness of kids and safety of even yourself, and how to deal with parenting, and also coach. Now 2019 came the big one. You have the CONCACAF B license. Um, then I also work with the U13, the U15, the U17, the elite teams, right? Right across. So if I'm not assisting the elite under 19, under 20, then I'm coaching the under 15 or the under 13. Right. So
Okay.
then, yeah, through the elite program, then I was selected as one of the candidates from the West to be in the CONCACAF B license. So I went on that journey. That was our next journey again. And we have to travel to Kingston. The when we go up there, we spend like the week, and then we come back to Montego Bay, do our thesis, do our projects. We have to link up with coaches from Westmoreland, coaches from St. Elizabeth to do our group works and such forth. That was a journey. We had coaches like Shevar Thomas, Paul Teagat Davis. You have Marcel Gale. You have Dana Van Duki. You have Coach Whitmore, Coach Downswell. You have
Rudolph Speed did it as well.
you have yes. You have Rudolph Speed. You have our coach educator now.
Um,
Yes, and such forth.
Peart,
Yeah,
Andrew Peart.
yeah. Andrew Peart. Yes. You have Sheldon, Coach Sheldon. You have Coach Vassell, Coach Xavier Gilbert. Right.
Okay, so
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 that
you
was
did your B license in 2019.
right.
Okay, but
Yes.
you specialize though. I mean, you're part of the JFF school that educate other coaches in Western Jamaica. But from what you're saying,
Right.
you work predominantly with kids or
Right.
elite youths. That's your area
Right.
of speciality, because you don't take
Right.
on a Premier League team, you don't take on a daCosta Cup team, you don't take on a Manning Cup team, or
No,
you do that as well.
no. What I at one time I went. They called me at village. The coach said I could come and coach, and I was saying, um, I gave them 2 morning session, but the traveling from Montego Bay was hippie, right? So after that was through the window. After leaving Cornwall now, Loxley, we had summer camps because I had summer camps with Sandals. So Loxley Reed said to me, "It's time for you to go. Time for big coach, man. Warm to you, man. Stop going like you're a joke." And I said him said to me. So him say, "If I can do it, Lee, you know you can do it." So him say, "You step out of your box, man, and stop going like you don't want to step out of your box." So I said,
Luxury
"All
tell you
right,
that.
all right, Mr. Reed." Yeah, Loxley Reed, yeah.
All right.
So Coach Palmer now, there was a vacancy at William Nib. And Coach Palmer said, "All right, Lee, send in a resume to the principal." All right, I said, "All right." When I send my resume to the principal, and she said, "I have a meeting. You
No, man,
have
go ahead
I
and see
have
what
a
you
meeting.
send, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a meeting Monday." I said, "All right, I'll be there." I drive up early and sit in the car park and there. When I take out my resume and she said, "All right, stop. When you want to start work? I never see any coach with so much certification as you. So when you want to start work?" I said, "All right." She said, "Go and start work." That was that was August August 9th to 10th in the D Cup season. And um August 11th I start training. When I go down the camp, I saw 7 players. I said, 7 players, this is a miracle. Then remember in the D Cup when I start in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and
Yes.
I'm going to take up a job with 7 players in camp. I said to myself, sir, by the following week, I have about 20 odd players at training. And 20 odd players at training. So players now start to call players and say, "You know what at training? Coach Lee up there, so guess what? You have to go back." And one of my player now, he I can attest to him. He came back to school. His name is Tucker. He came back to school, and right now he graduated from Maritime Institution, and he's in a big job now. Um, I can attest to that one. We have some good players from William Nib because and apparently and that team we missed it by 1 point to go second round. 1 point to go second round.
Okay. Okay. So you have
So,
coach at the high school level at William Nib.
right.
And you
But I
did
did one
all,
stint at William Nib, and
yeah.
then the traveling was taking a toll. Every day I pass on the highway, if somebody not dead, is an accident. So I have my little team that I bring with me. I have Wendell, Coach Myrie, Coach Bell, and I have a goalkeeper to help me assisting with the goal. Then I have players up there that person up there that help me now from William Nib to come over. Then apparently I said the traveling and I sit too much on the road, so I'm not gonna take this. And then after, I was still teaching PE, so I leave my PE class at 2:30, then travel to Trelawney to come back, then go back each day.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a little difficult, so you kind of stepped away from it.
Right.
All right. So here's what I want you to do, because we're at an hour and around 20 minutes. So we have around 20 minutes or so, right? What you think? Because like I said, that you have worked predominantly with younger players. What you think needs to change for football in Jamaica to improve? holistic improvement, wide scale improvement?
The main concern is knowledge of the coach delivering to the kids. Because the thing that our principal is doing, Andrew, is we are trying to educate or certify as much coaches at the grassroots level coming up. And once we have knowledgeable person, because for example, you have players that play the game but cannot pass on the instruction to the players in a certain manner. Because what they're gonna do, they're gonna tell themselves, all right, I used to play like this, so you're supposed to play like this. What you find that each kid or each child have a different tendency of how they behave. They're coming from different backgrounds. So you have to know inside out how players or how kids operate and function. Right? So once we have the coaches knowledgeable of carrying across the instruction, it would be a vast improvement. The development from a tender age. All right, growth. In 6 to 8, 6 to 9, I'll say categorize, right? 6 to 9, 9 to 11, 12 to 14, right? Going on to 15, right? 15 to 17, 17 to 20. So there's a span between, there's a difference between each category. Good? Yes. So if we have person working, because I used to run a academy, we call it Saturday Fun. I have like 3-year-old, right? But I cannot have a 3-year-old and have a size 5 ball for him to kick. So the right equipment, right? Also with the right footwear. Good. So a 3-year-old, sometimes they can't, because of the surface, they can't balance properly in a football shoes. So they would need even a track shoes or all-purpose, right? So if they have coach, and what happens? You don't have, most coaches don't have the patience or the tolerance at that age to deal with those kids. Because guess what? First thing they're gonna come, they're gonna spot on the colors, right? So you now have to have drills set up specifically for them. So it come back around to how we are dealing with the coaching school, having the coaches plan their session and take them out effectively.
Yeah. So you're thinking the major improvement that needs to take place is coaching education. Get the coaches educated so they can manage the different age groups and coaching those different age groups. Right. And that is what you think is happening on a wide scale.
Right.
In terms of the change in Jamaica football right now, that the coaching school is helping to change that.
Right.
Okay. I see. So coaching education, you think, is the solution to the problem. All right. But what about the people who say to you, right? Yeah, we want people to learn the right thing, but in Jamaica, nobody is paying for the kids to come to any academy. So where are the coaches going to get the resources to run those things so that kids, because everything in Jamaica concerning football, except at probably the Premier League or high school level, is free in terms of coaches. Yeah. So how do you balance?
What you find out now, you know that majority of the person who plays sports come from a poor background. They find the love of it, and most of the times you have coaches, you have personnel, you have 1 and 2 person will get support outside, and you have that. Like it come back around now with past players or past person out of the football. If we get support back into the football, for example, if we have a past player overseas or so, and he can carry back a 2 ball for your program or a 3 ball, but guess what? the monetary in Jamaica, you know, football alone don't cut it. You have to do something else to balance for your family livelihood.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask, I mean, 5 years from now, what is the goal for Leacroft Lettman?
You know, I always set my goals. I 5 years from now, well, I tell myself as I've made the transition from playing to coaching, I also did a course online with the coach to coach, coach to coach coaches, right? So it helped me to deliver instruction, carry across different methods, how to assemble myself within doing presentation, right? So the level at which football is like a different stage because you play, you coach, you administer, you play, you coach, you administer, then you manage, right? And then you pass back now. So you pass back the mantle now, and then you supervise the person who is within your ground to allow them to grow. So as myself growing, I have somebody who is beside me who is growing also.
Okay, so you can leave a legacy. So when you're gone, the work can be
Right.
carried on by someone else in it. I mean, you're in Western Jamaica, and many people may look and say, listen, especially in Montego Bay, it seems like football is not alive anymore. We don't see the talent coming out. I think probably Jordy and Fletcher and Peter Lee Vassell, and they have not yet hit the highest mark internationally. But they are probably the last set of talent to come out of Montego Bay, and that's just two in
Yeah.
and probably a Duchesne Beckford. But I mean, you probably can go back to the St. James team with Ricardo Morris and those guys who transitioned
Yeah.
into Mobile United and Premier League. But
Right.
what is affecting the large output of talent in Montego Bay?
Um, it, you know, those players come out of my Triple Crown under 16. I was also Triple Crown champion 2012.
Okay.
Yes, that was
That's the
2012.
Cornwall
Yeah,
College
Jardine
team you're talking
Fletcher.
with Jordy and Fletcher
Yeah,
and Alaric Otti and
right,
Peter Lee
right.
Vassell and all of those. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. And from me, go on to winning also the daCosta Cup. Crime and crime plays a big part in this, and as I can say, it's like development through parenting and person want and needs. There's a difference between wants and need. And back then you used to have person like myself who's coming from a humble background who would know that guess what, I have to work hard. I maybe have one pair of shoes, and then I'm not gonna follow somebody who have the money and go do something wrong, but I know what I want out of what I am doing, right? Um, it's not like you're gonna play. You're gonna train to achieve, right? So it's not like you want to achieve before you train.
Yeah.
So I basically think that parenting have a lot to do because I can attest to that. I have one son, right, and he moved on from Cornwall College to St. George's College, right? He got all his CXC. He got over what 9 subject at Cornwall College. Um, he played basketball from grade 1. He was a head boy at Colonel, that's Leacroft Lettman Jr. He went on. He won every basketball competition from primary school up to high school. So parenting have a lot to do with growing. He went to St. George's. He played both basketball and football. He played centre back, one of the shortest player to play centre back under Coach Bertis Bell. He went to the Manning Cup final. He said, "Dad, guess what? I'm gonna do something what you will never do." And he went on to play Manning Cup, right? He lost in the final. So it's for me and him. It's like we compete in a family way. So whenever he made the star or the mirror, I make the mirror, right? So it's like a family tradition with bringing up. So person look at myself as, yes, I deal with the youths, but guess what? Most of the time we look at in our role model as person far away and we can't see what they are doing. So guess what? We don't know their lifestyle, what they do, how they earn. Because we can look at Christopher Ronaldo and say, guess what? He's earning millions. And guess what? I want to earn millions right away, but I don't know the hard work that he put in.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things. So we have to inspire a person to motivate us. Because maybe a goalkeeper, maybe look at Warren Barrett and say he has worked and attained so much caps for the national country. I want to be that role model, right? And person, I look at David Beckham in my playing, right? Because my strength was crossing the ball. So I don't look at other person. I try to find out how he beat the ball, how he crossed the ball, and all of those things. David Beckham, now we have a stadium, right? He own Miami, and things like that. So you're making the transitions, but you're gonna take your thing in the own little way, right? I have my little team that I manage, Mobile City. We went to final again, Mount Pleasant, 2 year back to back. I lost to Mount Pleasant. If I did win that finals, I would represent the country under 13 in the CONCACAF competition. So my work is a vast amount of work in the West.
Yeah. I remember that Mobile team coming up to play Mount Pleasant. Very, very good team,
Right.
man. Yeah, man. Chris Wayne said players transfer out too. Ask Leacroft why his son left Cornwall for St. George's. Well, he just answered. I think he just spoke to that Chris Wayne.
Yeah. No, guess what? He said he want to make a transition. Yeah. He want to do something that didn't do. So he say he want to. I win daCosta Cup. So he say he want to play Manning Cup.
There you go, Christian. Listen, I don't know what else you want to add, Leacroft. We're at the hour and 30 minutes, like I promised you. So I don't know if there's anyone you want to big up, anything you would have wanted to say that I may not have asked. You can go ahead, say that, add that, and then big up who you want to big up, pay tribute to those who you want to pay tribute to, and then we will close after that. So the space is yours to go ahead and do that.
Coach Weston King, may your soul rest in peace. Coach Alcock, may your soul rest in peace. I've been through a lot of coaches over my journey. My coach Paul Nelson from Bogue United, come up to Coach English from Seba, right? Coach Weatherly, who take me through majority of my football journey, right? You have Coach Bell, who coached me at UWI. At UWI, I play center forward. No, first never know that. Then you have Coach Liebert Aliman, right? So I've been through a lot. Coach Steve Button, I have a little stint with him. So through those coaches, I have take away to put in my puzzle to build my own legacy on, right? And I just want to say thanks to everyone who is on this platform tonight. I want to big up my family, my friend, my wife, who is always behind me 100%. through thick and thin, right? When things go wrong, sometimes when I lost a game and come home, then you know how the feelings go, traveling here and there, right? Um, my wife is a netball player. We won in the same year I won daCosta Cup. She won their netball. So my son get the hands from her and got the foot from me.
That's a good way to
Yes,
put it.
yes. hmm And my mother,
So
I want
let
to
me ask
say
you a question.
special.
Let me ask you a question. Is your son a better basketballer or a better footballer?
Honestly, I want to say the first time I saw him play was in grade two, and I swear I was watching NBA. The way he controlled the ball. I always tell him that the way how he control the game in basketball. If he does well in football, but I always tell him say my dream for you is to see in NBA one day or something like that.
Well, I really just asked that question, because you say he got his hands from you. So that means if he's a better basketballer than footballer, it is suggesting that your wife is a
No,
better
his hands from his
netballer than
mom. His
you are
hands
a
from his mom.
footballer.
No, his
Eh?
hands from his mom.
Right, that's what I'm saying that. So I am saying that if you're saying that he's a better basketballer, it is also suggesting that his mother was a better netballer
Yeah.
than you were a footballer. That's the only reason why I
Oh,
asked.
yeah, man. She was very talented. One of the best out of the West. That Sasha Lettman presently now, Sasha Cousins, right? She was one of the best centers in the West. Um,
You know
she
what
go
they're going
on
to
to
say?
she
You know what
yeah.
they're going to say? If you say anything about other than her being the best out of the West, you're probably going to be the dog. So you better make sure you say that she is the best.
Yeah, and presently, my mom, I'm a only child also, and my mother is always there for me right through. Yeah, my father overseas, so I'm an only child. My son now is an only child. He's overseas now studying nursing, so he's making the transition now through sports. And apparently, one of my thing, my philosophy in coaching is balancing both book and sport, right? No matter how you see a player. As a teacher, as a PE teacher, I tell person that no child is done, right? It's the effort that you put in to balance, just like the amount of session that you do on the field.
Yeah. No, man, just keep talking. Don't watch the comments, man.
Yeah,
You'll get to see them afterward. They're going to get distracted.
right.
Yeah.
Don't no matter the amount of, no matter how slow you are, because you have slow learner, you have fast learner, right? And you have person downgrade footballers, right? Person downgrade footballers. And back in those days, if you say you want to be a footballer, person will look at you different. They want you to be a bank teller or a nurse or a doctor, right? And but then if you come and you say, guess what? I am a footballer. I like to play football. No, man, nobody not going to look at you. But now, the transition now through football, guess what? You have to know the philosophy. Philosophy. You have to know about the body, the anatomy. You have to know about the how the structure run. You have to know about how much energy you have to use up. You have to know angles. You have to know distance on the field. You have to know. So guess what? And guess what? Now it come down that sports now become a subject. PE now become a subject in CXC,
Yeah.
right? Right. So it's no longer look at when you do PE, the teacher just come and give you a ball and kick and you get a grade. No, you have to do the science about it. Then also now the science is come in now into our coaching. And and that's it. That is the hardest part of when we did the level one and level. The science was the hardest part for most of the coaches because what happened, we get the technical and tactical part right, but the science part was even on the courses talk about when players fly, the air pressure when you fly to a next country to play games. So all of that come down. It's a vast. That's why I said if we educate our coaches, our football will change. The whole dynamic will change because can't just come because I play daCosta Cup. That's what I'm gonna coach. I only coach what I know and what I bring to the table. You can watch a YouTube session, but you don't know what it is done for. But when you go in the classroom and sit and you make a plan and you execute, you can do a passing drill. A passing drill can run for a whole session, right? A defensive drill where you have coaches come and you do defensive, you do offensive in one session. So guess what? When the player take away, they end up leaving with not learning concept of the day. So if they just like you're doing your lesson plan, when we do our lesson plan for class, then the coach must carry out a plan. So he executes. So if management, you're my assistant, I am sick today, and I said, management, you're gonna run the training. Guess what? You don't know you're going to do anything you want to do. When we have a plan now, and now we're coming with like a periodization table or a 6-week plan, so you know exactly what to do. When I run my program, I have U16 schedule, U14 schedule, and daCosta Cup schedule. So it's
Awesome.
really preparation. Yeah.
Awesome stuff and very comprehensive. And I think what you're saying is so important that if we don't get that understanding, then the football won't improve at the rate that it ought to. And it starts with the knowledge base of the coaches and the ability to apply what they learn in such a way that the persons who they are teaching can comprehend it and execute it at the optimum level. And I think that will transform the football. And I think Mr. Speed and Mr. Peart always said it, that listen, we have to get our best coaches at the lowest levels, because that's where development is.
One main thing, one takeaway. When coaches come on courses, we do a thing named unlearn to learn.
Yeah.
Most coaches, what they know, they stick with it. So most of them, when they leave the course, sometimes they still have the same mentality within their structure. So we have to know how to unlearn to learn, and then add on what you know. When you add on what you know, you become a better person how to pass on. Because just like you're doing passing, right? You could do passing, but could do passing in a game situation where you realize the game situation now, you see how the kids move by just standing up. You allow the kids to stand up, and guess what? The child get boring. Coach, I don't want to come back to training. But because he's not playing and moving now, right? And then most of the times we have child that is not up to the par that the coach wants, and we just put that child away. No. I have a Cornwall. Honestly, we have 45 players in that team. I have a A, B, C team. All right, so that's
a lot. It's a lot.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
I remember. I mean, as we close out and end it, because like I said, we have a couple, probably just a minute and a few seconds. But I remember Freddie Butler saying that, listen, one of the things that we need to understand is even age. Sometimes you have a 12-year-old who is in a 15-year-old body.
Right.
And then you have a 12-year-old who is in an 11-year-old body. You can't give them the same things to do, even though both of them are 12-year-old. And you just said it, it's a science. And I always tell people in life, it's not so much what you need to learn, it's what you need to unlearn. And I think there's a lot of things we need to unlearn, like you just said perfectly, before we start learning the science of football in a new and deeper way. But Coach Lettman, want to thank you so much for your time. We will have other conversations. Even the computer, even your tablet is telling us it is time to go because it's the battery about to die. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us today. We
Right.
this evening really appreciate your time and your company, your sharing your experience, sharing your history in the game and the place that you're at, and continue to do what you're doing. The
Right.
comments in the comment section, you'd see and hear just persons speaking about the work that you're doing with developing young talent. It's what we want to see on a daily basis in our football as it excels and
Yeah.
gets to higher levels. So keep on doing what you're doing. All the best to you, to your wife, and to your son out there. All the best in your journey and in your ventures. And we hope to have more conversation. Just to let you know that I played Galloway Cup against you still for Mannings. Me and Dean
Oh,
folks and them on there and beat
yeah,
Mannings and
yeah,
beat
yeah.
and robbery up a common one. And we never beat you down Mannings in the daCosta Cup them time they still. Me I tell you that. Me know fish. I am sure.
Yeah. What most person don't understand. Yeah. I also went to when Seba won, we went to that championship competition overseas in Trinidad,
Yes,
and I
yes,
also
yes,
won.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I also won a international under 18 competition in Canada. That's my first international trophy. Yeah,
Yeah?
we have. Yeah, I have a couple trophy overseas where we
Yeah.
take our team Seba under 18. Yeah, to
Okay.
play a tournament.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's been a journey.
Yeah, man. So people, all of you watching, listen, thank you so much. We will have my coach Leacroft Lettman on. Next time we have him on, we're gonna have him on with Andrew Pearton. That will be a very good one. I'm telling you. We're gonna see we can get both of them on so them can talk some football. But again,
Yeah,
thanks to everyone. Listen, I asked you to do a couple of things, right? He did not
yeah,
get to watch this. So at some point he and his wife are going to sit down and watch this, right? I mean, they're close to 300 persons who have watched the video, all right, so far. And only like 30 other you have liked the video, all right? You have to do better than that. So hit the like button if you watch. If you like the content, hit the like button. So when Coach Letman goes back and look, he can say, whoa, look at how many persons like the video. All right, you do that. Also, share the content with somebody else. And if you have not yet subscribed to the platform, please also hit the subscribe button. Again, thank you so much. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to everyone for watching, for tuning in for this video. Really appreciate your company. Looking forward to talking with you tomorrow again. Thank you again, Coach
yes.
Leacroft.
I leave. I'm making the step,
There you go. Live through soccer.
and you see where it start number 16.
Yeah, yes. Yes. I see the
Right.
number 16. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So this is my brand. So I'm moving to a foundation next.
Awesome.
Right.
Next time
So
we need to
what's
talk about
happening?
that, man.
Yes.
When once you do that, you shout me, and we can come on and talk about it, and you
Yeah, man.
understand me. And next time,
Mhm.
when they do in the academy, it must be not just football, but it must also include netball. All right, so your wife
No.
can coach netball. Yeah. Uh,
All right.
all
It was
right.
my pleasure. It was my pleasure,
Yeah,
and I
man.
really appreciate everyone for tuning in. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Blessings. All
Yeah,
right.
man. And you take care and keep up the good work that you are doing.
Yeah, man. Every time. Blessings, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So there you have it, people. Coach Leacroft Lettman, footballer, Premier League winner, daCosta Cup winner, Ben Francis Cup winner. So many accolades and doing a great job on the coaching scene as well. Again, thank you so much, every single one of you. Remember, show him some love by hitting the like button, sharing the content, And you can also go on the video afterwards and leave a comment for him, so when he watches, he can see it as well. Really appreciate your company. Thanks to Launch Legacy, where they handle risk and seek legacy for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA. Visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. Also want to big up Prestige Finance. At Prestige Finance, they're lending a helping hand when you need it the most. Call them or text them at 876-884-7390 and they'll be able to help you with up to $100,000 in loan at 0 to 4% interest rate. And you just let them know you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports, and you will pay no processing fee and enjoy same day processing. Big up Trick Nick. Trick Nick is a Jamaican owned and operated company in Canada that uses authentic herbs and spices, locally grown and produced herbs and spices to make all their products, from jerk marinade to curry paste to barbecue sauce and many more products. Visit them at Trick Nick Shop, and yep, you will get a special I Am Sure Sports discount. Have a blessed night and be safe. Join us tomorrow on I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manningsman. Have a blessed evening, one and all.